What really happened the night of prom? Everyone remembers prom night as either magical or traumatic. Mine was both, but not for the reason anyone thinks. For years, people from my high school have told the same version of the story. I ditched my date, disappeared for hours, and came back dramatic and ungrateful. Some people say I ruined the night on purpose. Others say I was chasing attention. The truth is, I almost didn't make it home that night. I was 17, wearing a dress I couldn't really afford, and heels I didn't know how to walk in. My date Jake was nice enough. Football player, popular, polite in that way, where you can tell he's doing what he thinks he's supposed to do. We weren't dating. He asked me last minute after his original plan fell through. I said yes because I didn't want to be the girl who stayed home. At prom, everything felt loud and unreal. The gym smelled like perfume and sweat and desperation. People were kissing, laughing, crying in bathroom stalls. I remember smiling so much my cheeks hurt, even though my stomach felt off. About an hour in, Jake told me his friends were going to an after party at a lake house. I hesitated. I'd heard stories, but everyone around me was acting like this was the moment, like saying no would make me childish. So I said yes. That was my first mistake. At the house, things escalated fast. Alcohol everywhere, no adults, people disappearing into rooms and reappearing messier than before. Jake ditched me within 20 minutes to hang out with his teammates. I sat on the edge of a couch scrolling through my phone, wishing I'd brought flats and a spine. That's when one of his friends, someone I barely knew, sat next to me. He kept handing me drinks. I said no at first, then yes, then I stopped counting. The night gets blurry after that. I remember standing up too fast. I remember the room spinning. I remember realizing I couldn't find my phone. The next clear memory I have is being outside, barefoot, sitting on the curb with my dress twisted around me, trying not to throw up. A girl I vaguely recognized from choir was holding my hair and asking if I knew my address. I didn't. I remember crying not because I was drunk, but because I was scared, because I felt stupid, because I didn't know where Jake was and didn't want him to see me like that, because I knew deep down that if something bad had happened, people would ask what I did wrong first. Someone eventually called my mom. She didn't yell. She didn't ask questions. She just picked me up, wrapped me in a blanket, and drove home in silence while I stared at my reflection in the window. Mascara streaked down my face, feeling like I'd failed some invisible test. The next morning, my phone was blowing up. Jake texted, "You embarrassed me." Friends texted, "Why did you disappear?" Someone posted a picture from the dance floor captioned, "Prom Queen Energy, LOLL." No one asked if I was okay. At school the next week, the story had already been written without me. I was too much, messy, that girl who couldn't handle her alcohol. People laughed about how Jake dodged a bullet. I didn't correct them. Here's the twist that still hurts to admit. I believed them. For years, I carried that night like a stain. I told myself I was dramatic, weak, that nothing really bad happened, so I didn't get to feel shaken by it. I minimized it the same way everyone else did. It wasn't until college during a random conversation in a dorm room that someone said, "Wait, you were drunk, alone, couldn't find your phone, and no one helped you?" That's terrifying. And suddenly, the memory shifted. What really happened the night of prom wasn't that I ruined it. It's that I learned, very early, how quickly people will abandon you if your fear is inconvenient, how easily a girl's vulnerability becomes gossip, how silence becomes self-blame. I don't hate prom anymore. I don't romanticize it either, but I do wish 17-year-old me had known this. You didn't fail. You survived a night where no one protected you, and you deserved better than the story they told about you. If you were that girl in high school, the one people still joke about years later, maybe there's more to your story too, and maybe it's time you told it differently.